My name's Anton, but my friends call me Whale Man. But today, we're going to draw the largest member of the dolphin family. And just to be a little confusing, it's called a killer whale. You may know them as Orca. They're really distinguishable because they're black and white and really quite impressive. A male has a really big dorsal fin. So I'm going to draw a male killer whale for you now. They got a bulbous head, so we're going to do that, coming down to a little nubbin of a rostrum, or it looks like a nose. I'm going to sweep back up here to draw the mouth. Now these guys have big sharp teeth. And around here, between you and I, they like eating stingrays, which is pretty cool. Now I'm going to come down here like this. This really creates the head. I'm going to draw the flipper now. They've got a really distinctive flipper. It's like a big paddle. I'm going to draw a line like that and then come around and almost mirror it on the other side. Looks a bit like a lemon. I'd never thought of that before. Here we go. If I draw a couple of little lines there, you can see that that sticks out like that. I'm going to draw what we could see of it on the other side of the animal. Just to see, so you know what we're all about, I'm going to draw in the eye. It's like a circle, a couple of lines, a little dot, that's its ear. Amazing. Here we go. A little C in here, and there we have its eye. Look at that. I'm going to draw in a blowhole. That's how it's like its nostril, which it breathes through. A little line there. And now I'm going to sweep up to the middle of the back, where I'm going to put in the dorsal fin. And I said we're going to draw a male. And a male has a big, tall dorsal fin like this. Wow. Look at that. That's impressive. It's like almost like a witch's hat. And I'm going to come down with a line like that. That's going to come down towards the tail. And I'm going to do the same thing, swooping up from here, like so. And there's our killer whale, pretty much. What else do we need? We need a tail. We call these the flukes. And with these guys, I'm going to do a little blip like that, because sometimes they turn the tips of their tails up. And that's kind of neat, because they're black on top and white below. And get a little shape like that. And there is our killer whale. But they've got a really cool color pattern and things that really make them distinctive. First, I'm going to draw a little line down here to the front of the flipper, because this is black above and white below. I'm going to do a little line there. That's a little bit of white. And then we're going to come swooping up like this. Look at this. Boom. Do one line like that. And then we're going to come back like that, like a wave. And this is also white. But they've got another thing, and this is cool. This is called the saddle. A couple of lines like that, and then a little flick. And this is often grey or paler in colour. And that is often used with the shape of the dorsal fin, and the colour and shape of the saddle patch is often used to identify individual animals. That's how we can track them all around the coast of New Zealand. Pretty neat. They also have something else, which I think we all know makes them really characteristic, and that is that they have this white eye patch. And there we have it. A killer whale. Pretty neat. He's the biggest member of the dolphin family, and they're super fast too. So, now it's time to colour it in. Today I'm going to use coloured pencils. You can use whatever you like, whatever you have at home. And you can colour it any way you want. It's all about having fun. But I'm going to try and show you a little bit what these animals really look like. So I'm going to leave a little bit of white at the front, because that's going to give a sense of light bouncing off the animal. We can darken this up later. Another way that you might like to do this is to take a big, thick, black marker pen and colour it in, and then maybe put white pencil over the top. But it's interesting, right? Because we look at these things, if I was to just draw it in completely black, you'd lose some of these nice details that you've drawn before. So we're just going to go over all of this part and make it black. I'm going to leave a little bit of white here and there just to help you and remind you that, you know, we've got some shiny light on the animal. So just take your time. We need to get them dressed so you can go and chase some stingrays. Or eagle rays, their favourite. Now this is going to be a little bit interesting because I'm going to do, whilst we drew a big black line around here, you really wouldn't see that black line in life because it would be black going up to it, and the inside of the saddle is a paler grey. So because I'm giving you the sense of the colour of the animal and it looks grey, I'm going to have to do this lighter, but I'm going to come back to that in a bit. The nice thing about colour pencil is I can kind of go over it again and darken up areas that I want to. Now remember, I'm going to leave this little bit white because sometimes the tips of their tails turn up or down and you can see the underside of their tail. Flukes are the underside of the flukes, which are white. They may occasionally have little black spots on them too, which is kind of fun, which means you can tell one whale from another in the same way as you can with the dorsal fin. Remember, we talked about the dorsal fin being something you can use to identify a particular animal, and they may have nicks or cuts out of the dorsal fin where they've perhaps interacted with or got caught up in some fishing line, or another animal has taken a little bite or a nibble. But over time these animals get a few scars and wounds. So we've talked about the dorsal fin being we're able to use it to identify things, and sometimes they get little nicks or cuts out of their dorsal fin which makes them uniquely identifiable, which scientists use to help track animals around the country. Here I'm going to continue colouring. The flippers here are also black, big black paddles. I'm going to leave a little bit of white around the front just to give you a bit of differentiation in it. But they wouldn't be white in life, but you might see them as white because of light bouncing off them as the light reflects off them, because they're quite shiny animals. Now, unlike the flukes here where we had white underneath, the flippers are also black on the inside. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that a little bit darker because it's in the background, so it's in shadow. I'm going to say that's just about done for the black. Give it a little bit more, just to draw the eye and make it a little bit darker. Sometimes you can see animals will have some variation in the colour, even though they are black. Like some killer whales have what we call a cape. There are different types of killer whale. They're all one species, but there are different types that live in different parts of the world, and they have different names. Easy to remember, things like type A, type B, and type C. There's also a type D, which has been found in New Zealand, which is sometimes called the subantarctic killer whale. But they don't live around New Zealand all of the time, as far as we know. But the main ones we see around New Zealand are specialists in hunting eagle rays and stingrays. Remember I said this was a grey saddle patch? I'm just going to do that very lightly. Yeah, that's all we need. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of light grey here, just to like a little bit of shadow at the bottom of the animal and just under the flipper and along the belly. And like Sometimes what I like to do is put a little bit of blue on, just to, as if to remind myself that these are animals that live underwater. So there's a little bit of blue. It also helps make some of the white stand out a little bit more. You can do what you like. It's just something I quite like doing. And sometimes with these guys, you might get a little bit of, rather than it being completely white, there may be a little bit of pale yellow that creeps into that white. So we'll do that there. Just a hint. And there we go. There's our killer whale. Looks okay to me. You can draw it any way you want, of course. The main thing is that you have fun.